Where do you rank yourself at as far as wing defenders go? Like, I know some great ones. Obviously, I mentioned Stack Jack, who you two strong as hell. Tony Allen. Where you rank yourself among those wing defenders?
Well, it's like, so when I was during my prime, I definitely thought I was the best. I won a Defensive Player of the Year, and I probably would have won more. I guess, I can't argue about the one when I got suspended. I don't know what would have happened that year. The next year I got left Indiana. I don't know what happened that year. But, with that being said, it's something I'm really happy about. I really love talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's something only a few people could talk about. But as I look back at it, and I was doing a lot of research, especially when you came out with your comments, I actually looked at a lot of different wing defenders. And I think Dennis Rodman's probably the best wing defender that we've seen. You got to go watch his tape. And I was looking at it, and I'm only familiar with him from the power forward position, but the way he guarded Jordan and Pippen, I was just like, oh, wow, this guy might be a better wing defender than me. I've never thought he was a better wing defender than me. But Reggie Miller thought I was probably the best. Besides myself saying I was the best, a lot of media probably never gave me the credit because, they just want to keep my name out their mouth. They don't want to give credit where credit's due. Like, for example,
absolutely.
It's crazy. Like once, it's just so many times people left me off. I'm like, come on, I'm not even gonna argue with that. But with that being said, I did hold people to zero a couple times in their prime, which is really difficult to do. I got a lot of DMPs, people not showing up to play. So, I got to put that all in I got to put that in my bank. But with that being said, I would say top 7, maybe something like that, top 10, top 7. There's a lot of people out there that's really good. And when you came out with your comment, what was interesting, it happened quick, right? So it was a shock. But when you came out, you are so versatile. You should put yourself up there because if I did what you did, I for sure would have said I'm number 1. You played the 5, you played the 3, you got championships to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Many people can say they're good, but you got championships, and it's not like you was averaging 30, right?
Facts.
And you did have 35 in Game 7 against the Cavs, so you can score, right? Yeah, that was a hell of a game. I remember that game. I was like, this guy can score too. You should definitely put yourself up there. Obviously, you got Rodman, you got Bill Russell. It's difficult to say you're number 1, but you have got championships, so. I think when it's all said and done, we should do something on ourselves because so many times the offensive players get the pub, and as a defensive player, I want some pub.
100%.
How do you feel about that? You know what I mean? I want some pub. I feel we should do something on that. We should be talking about that. Like, who are the best wing defenders? Who are the best defenders? And really do something on it to bring light. Like I spent all my career. When I would practice, before I would pick up a ball, the first 45 minutes was running by myself, nobody in the gym. That's what I was in the gym sliding, doing my defensive slides, like putting in that work. I wasn't just a good defender. I actually had to train for it. And with that being said, I take pride in that. You know what I'm saying? And I was happy when you came out with that. I was like, yes, like somebody's talking about defense.
For sure.
Finally. So I was like, I think I tweeted that. I don't know if you saw it, but I was like really appreciative of you coming out.
For sure.
So yeah.
Absolutely. No, a part of the reason I did say that was I think people think I talk a lot, which I have my times where I talk, but I'm very calculated. And so when I say something, I've already played out how the response is going to be, who's going to say what. Obviously, you don't know exactly what someone's going to say, but like it's going to cause this uproar. Like I'm already aware of that. And when I said it, do I really think I'm the best defender to ever play the game of basketball? Of course not. Like, we all get in situations that may not be good for us as far as your weakness. Like,
what about your era? What do you feel about your era? Do you feel
I definitely feel like I definitely feel like I'm the best defender in my era.
Who compares to you? Who put close to you?
Like a guy who I have a ton of respect for is Kawhi Leonard, right? Like I think Kawhi is an incredible defender.
Yeah.
But Kawhi also doesn't guard the post. Like Kawhi is he's on the perimeter, he's chasing guys around. You move the ball in front of him, he's going the other way. Utmost respect for Kawhi Leonard. Rudy Gobert is a good defender. But like for me, Rudy Gobert, he protects the rim. Like he's not guarding a wing he's not switching onto a point guard. he's not switching on to a wing. If a point guard is getting off, his coach doesn't come to him and say, hey, you take Dame Lillard, or hey, you take Chris Paul. You starting the game on Chris Paul. And so, those are definitely some guys that I respect. But, I respect Avery Bradley, who's a ball hawk, like never got the credit he deserved. A ball hawk, impossible to screen. Like for myself as a screener, he's impossible to screen. And like, I respect that. And so I think it's something that, when I speak up on defense, and I continue to speak about it because like you said, we deserve credit too. Like, all right, so you may not be scoring the ball as much as Steph Curry, right? But we all have an impact on the game. And I always speak on, people don't talk about defense because you actually have to understand the game of basketball to speak on defense.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can look at a guy and say, oh man, he was guarding such and such when he was on him, he ripped him, or he was pressuring the ball. But I can also put that guy on a back action and watch him miss every tag that he's supposed to get on that big rolling down the lane. And then you can run and say, oh, he's a great defender because he was on the ball. No, he's not.
Right.
Because I can put him in a position that he mess up y'all entire defense. So when I said that, I was more so saying it from the standpoint, to spark a conversation. Let's get talking about these great defenders. Because now when I say I'm the best defender, now we talking about Metta. Now we talking about Ron Artest. Now we talking about Scottie Pippen defense. Now we talking about Dennis Rodman. And let's make sure these flowers are being given to who they should be given to, and not just someone who scored a basketball. And so that's how I always take it on the defensive end, and I speak on it because I don't think enough is said about it. And as you and I both know, if you don't have a defense, you can score as many points as you want. We watched it with the Warriors for years where they'd be right up there at the top of the scoring in the league and would be bottom 5 in the West because they didn't have a defense. And so I always try to speak on that, number one, to start the conversation, but it's also to pay respect and get these names pumping to these guys who I respect on the defensive end that should be spoke about, yourself being one of them.